I'd like to welcome you to a special presentation. This is a part of our series on self-empowerment, offering people what insights I believe might motivate them, inspire them, maybe intrigue them to make some positive changes in their lives. The question I'm going to ask and the theme of this discussion is the following: do we choose our lessons, or does the universe choose them for us? And if so, what happens when we're tested? What happens when we pass or fail these tests? So can you be present for your own life? To be present for your own life, you have to recognize what the value of your life is. Now, we all have a value, but you don't have a value if you don't recognize it. Your dysfunction is going to disguise your value. It'll limit it, because we're not going to master our life if we've already mastered our excuses. You either have a life or you have excuses, one or the other. And brother, do you master your excuses? If you didn't, you wouldn't stay fat. You wouldn't stay sick, you wouldn't stay racist, you wouldn't stay sexist, you wouldn't stay angry, you wouldn't stay bitter, you wouldn't stay judgmental. You would have surrendered that. Nobody is that dysfunctional unless they have got 10 PhDs in dysfunctionality. And we should give PhDs in dysfunctionality. We should honor people for being mean, angry, stupid, racist. That doesn't come easy. You have to reinvent it all over again and justify it. Think of the worst you can say. Now imagine that someone transcribed the worst thing you've ever said to someone you know. Something you yelled over the phone and slammed down, and that it's printed in the front page of the New York Times, as if that's you. We've all said stupid things, right? We've all said things that were insensitive at some point in our life to people. But that's not who we are. That's merely the loss of control in our emotions for a moment. So what? Who we really are is who we are when we're not angry. That's who we really are. That's the core of who we are. Take a Buddhist monk and have a bee sting him on the testicles and watch him scream. I don't care if you're the Dalai Lama, you're going to hear him do something other than Om. But that doesn't mean that's who they are. That's just one of the circumstances of life. So what we have to understand is that we are more than the missteps in our journey. Go back to what I suggested, that every journey that we take in life is going to be a challenging one at points. There'll be times when we're on a plateau, where we just feel good. We're in a groove. And it's time to stop growing in that moment and just appreciate what we've learned, what we've done, what we own. You can only learn something when you own it, meaning you have to create it for yourself over and over again. You must make it a regular part of your life until one day you're no longer connected to the people who originally inspired you, motivated you. You're motivating and inspiring yourself. Then it's yours. Be present for them. It's okay. Put it neutral for a moment and just appreciate it. And then when you get comfortable, put it in gear again and say, I'm ready for my next lesson. I'm going forward. You don't have to go forward in any speed. You're not going to a perfection. It doesn't exist. What you're doing is you're giving up and surrendering complacency and excuses and the exit mindset. You're going to look for the next series of challenges that you can own and grow through. And therefore, one day you wake up and you realize, my goodness, I'm such a different person than I was a year ago or 2 years ago. I don't think the same. I don't act the same. I feel better about myself. Things that I would never have tried before are effortless today. I've integrated them. I own them. I own my disciplines. I own how I respond to the stimuli around us. So now when someone says something negative, I just let it go. It's not important. It's not about me. It's about them. Let them be who they want to be and say what they want to say. It's not about me. And someone says something inappropriate, okay, wait till they're appropriate and see what they say. Do they apologize? They see what their lesson is? They were tested. So they failed the first time, but we can learn from the second time. And if they've learned, okay, they've learned. Like a baby growing, let them grow. We should all be so fortunate to have people in our lives that let us learn from our mistakes and go forward. But you can't go forward if you're going forward with the old beliefs. You can't. It won't let you go forward. It will trick you. The beliefs will let you go like a dog on a leash and then yanks you back. Because in the end, it's like jumping across the Grand Canyon 80%, 92%, 97%. You have to start all over again. What we don't learn, we literally have to start all over again. We have to start from the beginning. And then this time, learn the lesson right. And when you're willing to learn a lesson right, then you can change and you can surrender the past and you can be a free-willed person in the moment. But you have to own that lesson and you have to be prepared for the challenges and the tests. And when the challenges and tests come, you have to be open and willing to be there for them. I look forward to the challenges and tests in life. I look forward to where I have to stand up and be counted for what my beliefs are and values are. Because if I'm not confident in the authenticity of my beliefs and my reality, then how possibly could I be an advocate for change? How could I help women? How could I help men, senior citizens, children? How could I help suffering people around the world? First time I'd be challenged by authority figures at threat of loss, I'd just buckle up and go hide someplace. To stand in the front of the challenges I have is to test my beliefs constantly. It's like having 1,000 people stand a foot away and fire machine guns at you and know that not a bullet's going to hit you. Because when your beliefs are based upon a universal truth and you're willing to be tested, then you're not going to be hurt. When you don't have the courage to stand for something you believe in, then you will be hurt. And what hurts you is your fear. What hurts you is the uncertainty of your own strengths. So now ask yourself, what are you willing to do to learn new lessons? To learn a new lesson, you have to put yourself into a situation where a lesson will be there. The new experiences. Don't make it an intellectual trip. The smarter you are, the more you think it should all be intellectual. It has to be self-actualized. You can't run a race till you're on the road running. We do too many things in our mind and then therefore make the richness of our metaphors more realistic than reality. When you've dreamed too much, then you've got to get back to reality. And reality is living every day in a real way. And one day you wake up and you don't have to fantasize. You don't have to speculate. And you don't have to dream because your life is living a dream. Everything you dreamed, you're now living. Everything you want, you're now engaging. Because you've surrendered limitations. Because you realize there are no limitations in life. There's no shortages. No shortages of love, no shortages of mental resources, no shortages of friends, no shortages of anything you need. Every tool you need in life to succeed and master your own life is present. You can't, however, embrace them as an intellectual or emotional exercise. You've been conditioned to emote. Because you cry, you think it's real. Because you have fear, you think it's real. Well, how many times in life have you been afraid of something that wasn't real? How many times in life have we emoted because we thought it was real? No. Turn off the exit sign. Disconnect from yesterday. Be present for this moment. And then you can honor your life. Thank you very much.